Hey, good evening, guys. Welcome back to my channel and my stream. How is everybody doing this evening? Let me know if I am coming across okay. I sort of screwed up on the introduction timer because I just accidentally hit on the video that I was going to play for you guys. So the timer was cut short a little bit. Apologies for that. I'd like to say hello to Mr. Eric Ho, who is in the stream, Maurice Self, and Kevin Lin. Thank you for joining, guys. Did you see that short clip? Let me just play it again, just for completeness sake. All right. Let me play that again. Just a minute. There we go. 1, 2, 3, go. So what that clip was about is basically after I had live stream on Sunday night, the previous Sunday night, when I was in Changping, right? We had the Xinjiang kebabs, Xinjiang lamb skewers, Yang Rou Chuan, and I brought you guys to walk around a bit of the area, and we stopped by KFC, and then finally we walked back to the car where I ended the stream. So along that route, I had basically my phones with me, my two phones, the phone that I was streaming with, as well as the phone that I was, checking my stuff. And after that, when I finally got back to the hotel, which that scene sort of a reenactment, it's a reenactment of me being back at the hotel. But of course, that was taken in the daytime as a reenactment. But basically, what happened that evening was a night scene. I would think about maybe 9:30 p.m. I got back, and I basically sat at the exact same position that I reenacted in that video clip. So the moment I sat down, then I realized, wait a minute, where's my other phone? I only had one phone with me, which was the streaming phone, the bigger iPhone, while my daily mobile phone was missing. So I thought, okay, it could be in the car, right? So I got up and went to the car and I checked around, nothing. So I started to panic a little bit. Let me say hi also to Jay and SA. Welcome to the stream, Jay. And Eastern Way Express, welcome, Miss um, Velk. Hold on, Velk Ains. Welcome, welcome. So as I was saying, I started to feel a bit anxious because, I could not find my phone. And my phone is very crucial because not only is it containing, photographs and stuff can be downloaded from the iCloud, right? But what's pertinent in this case was the fact that I got my Alipay set up on the phone, my WeChat, right, where I have all my contact lists and my login information to the apps in the banks. It's all set up. My WhatsApp, right? My WhatsApp, which was actually which is actually a tied to a Hong Kong number, but I have since actually vacated that Hong Kong number, but I'm still keeping the WhatsApp. So for those of you who are using WhatsApp, it's kind of strange. You can actually keep your phone number even though you don't have that number with you on your phone anymore, so long as the other person using the new number or not using the new number doesn't activate WhatsApp with that number. So you can actually keep your WhatsApp with your original number intact on your phone, so long as you don't log out to log back in. Because once you do that, then it requires some verification where it will send you the SMS, which you don't have because the SIM card is no longer in the phone. But the long story short, so I've already established the various difficulties that I would face had I really lost this phone. I would not have been able to do anything in terms of making any payments. I wouldn't be able to contact any friends, because nowadays there is no more phone book, right? Everybody's on a messaging service, right? So the only way to contact the people I know, like you guys, would be on WeChat, right? Other than, of course, making like a YouTube live stream to talk about it or to reach out to my friends. So basically, it was a bit of a peril, because with the WeChat not on the phone that I am streaming with, because that phone is basically clean, just using as a streaming device. So there is even though there's WeChat installed there, but it's not my WeChat. And even if I had logged out of that particular WeChat, I hope you guys are following me, and logged back in with my WeChat credentials, again, it's going to be not as simple, because they will require you certain ways to verify that it's you. Number one, either by sending an SMS to the device, which obviously I couldn't do because the account or the phone number that's being registered with my WeChat is not the current phone that I'm streaming with, right? Hope you guys are following me. So that I can't do the SMS verification. So the next verification step would be to get two of your friends to send a specific number to myself. But how could I get that done? Because I can't reach out to anybody who's on WeChat. Do you see the what's the word I'm looking for? The obstacle that I'm in. I mean the what's the other word I'm looking for? I was really in a deep situation. So I had no choice but to make sure I find the phone. So I knew that I was still holding the phone at a point of time when I was in the KFC, because I verified some of you guys who actually sent me, a friend request to be added onto WeChat. So I did that. But more importantly, when I was in the car, I definitely remembered very clearly that I replied my friend on WeChat, whom his message came while I was doing the live stream, and I couldn't reply him then. So I made sure that when I was done with the stream, I replied him. So for all intents and purposes, and for my sanity, I knew that I had the phone when I was in the car. So if the phone is in the car, it must be in the car. And then I started to replay back where I went right after the stream, which was actually I drove to somewhere nearby, and it was like a bit of a park environment. But I didn't go to the park. I just basically stationed the vehicle, got out, and I was just standing next to the vehicle. I did not actually venture off anywhere. I remembered it very clearly. So my instinct was, did I actually drop the phone while I stepped out of the vehicle, even though it was momentarily? And when I stepped out of the vehicle, what was in front of me was basically a small slope grass patch. I knew that was because, I saw the environment, right? Even if it was dark, I was in a park environment. The car was parked on the side of the road. I got out on the left-hand side, and the grass slope was in front of me, which was why I didn't go down. I just had a look around, nothing interesting, and then I got back in the car and I drove back to the hotel. And then what I did was I came into the lobby, sat down as what the video showed you guys, basically just to sit down for a bit, appreciate the lobby, maybe check some messages, and then I realized that, where's my phone? So that was the defining moment. And I got up, and it was nowhere to be seen. It was not on the seat that I was sitting on. It's definitely not anywhere around. And went back to the car. I couldn't find it. So I actually drove back to where I dismounted from the car, which was at the park, right? So I went back there and I looked around. Again, I couldn't find the phone. Uh, Obviously, I tried to call myself on my streaming device. And because I have my phone on the vibration mode, even though I called, I wouldn't hear any sounds except vibration. And vibration, if it was somewhere in the grass, would be very difficult to detect or hear given the ambient sound that was that night, that Sunday night, in that environment, big space. There are ambient sounds of cars driving by, sound of insects, the entire ambient sound. So I looked around and I had nowhere. I couldn't find the phone, and that was when I really wondering what's going on. Something is up, right? If it's not here, which was the only place I had came out of the car, and it's not in the car, then it has to be here, right? I could have only dropped it here, and I even I was really thinking really hard, really processing my mind, and I remembered trying to recall basically, did I actually have the phone when I was in the car? Or did I actually lose it while I was walking around? Did I lose it while I sat down at KFC? Did I, lose it while I was having the kebab? But no, everything points to no. Everything, I remember was correct. I had the phone at the KFC. I approved some of your WeChat requests. I definitely had the phone when I was in the car when I replied my friend. That's for sure. And finally, when I was in the park, I recalled that I did send even a voice message to one of the factory people to mention a few things, because again, one of those messages came in while I was streaming, and then I just saw it and I just replied, right, with a voice message. So with all that done, I was basically very clear that I definitely had the phone up to the point when I was in the park. So it cannot be anywhere back in KFC or during the walk. So it was really very frustrating, and I was basically just I went back again to the park after departing, right? I went back again just to make sure that if it had slipped out of my graphs and it rolled down the slope, okay, let's go down to the slope now and then look up to see if I can actually find anything, right? With a bit of a light, I was looking around and just basically, I didn't move. I came out of the car and I didn't walk around. So it has to be only this section of the slope, if indeed it somehow slipped out of my pocket and onto the slope, which again is very improbable, right? So I was in the car thinking about it, and then I finally thought, okay, since there's so many CCTV, all right, perhaps somebody might have taken it when I dropped it. So what I did was I went to a nearby pub and I asked the manager, do you know how to report to the police? Then I explained to him the situation that, I lost my phone and there's maybe CCTV around here. If indeed it was lost, perhaps it could be found. But then he made a good point saying that if it's not stolen per se, then it's not really anything that the police can do if you drop your phone and somebody picked it up, right? Anyway, so that was kind of like the final attempt to try to get something done with the help of the police. Long shot, but in the end, we didn't do it because, again, I didn't think I had enough of a case to be looking for the police to be finding my phone that I dropped, allegedly, versus being stolen. So I went back to the car and I thought about it, and I was just thinking, and I thought, okay, my GPS is definitely on. I'm sure of it. So what I could do is I could use the Find My Phone app, right, or the function of finding my iPhone. It's an iPhone built-in function. So perhaps I could use that to find out exactly where my phone is, even though I've been calling myself and obviously nobody answered the phone. So either somebody picked it up and saw the number that's calling and not answer it, or indeed nobody had picked it up and it's just ringing away until its battery would have died off. So in order for me to actually do the Find My iPhone, I have to log in with my Apple ID on my current device. Okay, so that involves, again, a lot of verification. Not only must you verify your password, and because I can't send an SMS to the phone number, right? Even though I key in the related phone numbers associated with this account, I had to now go back and start the recovery process, answering security questions, keying in the credit card information and all these things, which I did. But guess what? It requires a 24-hour waiting period for this particular entire step to be verified. So I don't have the time for that, right? No 24 hours to wait. I have to do something. So the thought came to my mind, all right, tomorrow I'm going to go to the office where I was supposed to film for these guys in China, in Changping. And I'm going to say, hey, I lost my phone. I will need you to help me to at least verify, because you are my friends. So at least the backup, the final backup that I had in my mind was I would actually meet with physical people that were on my WeChat that could do the recovery process of the WeChat for me. So at least that was in my mind. That was like, okay, I'm not all doom and gloom. I have a way out. Okay. And just for the record, right, I have never in my 44 years lost keys, phones, wallets, with the exception of one wallet that wasn't really a wallet because I had only used it to put RMB when I was taking the public transportation when I was in China, at least 4 years ago, right? So 4 years ago, I didn't really have all these mobile payments, so I still was using, cash, and I had allocated, and I actually bought a cheap wallet just for the RMB. So unfortunately, on one rainy occasion, the wallet had slipped out of my pocket when I was taking that particular bus back to Shenzhen. I remember it clearly because that's the only time I was in a bus, and that was when I had lost my wallet. So that particular exception. So the new record to be broken would be losing this phone, which was what I had no intention to do, because not only is it expensive, like I said, it contains a lot of things and information that would be making myself very inconvenienced, because I have to actually, and I did renew my visa just today, the 26th of August. So had I lost the phone on that fateful Sunday, I would have to go and get my SIM card from China Mobile. That's the first step. I would have to get everything done, getting the banks to verify my Alipay and get it connected and all these things. Anyway, there was a lot of things that would have been so troublesome had I really lost the phone. So let me just pause over here and sort of maybe check some of your comments, see what if I've been missing. Let's see. Okay. Hey, Serene. Siri thought I was calling for Siri, but it's actually Serene. All right. So let's see. So Eastern Wind is saying that the app will locate the phone. Okay. Pardon me as I quench my thirst. But the answer is no. I did not actually use the app. Like I said, it requires a 24-hour validation period, so I couldn't do that. Eric says that I'm old school. Actually, no. I was thinking of all the various ways to find the phone. I mean, using logic, right? Basically, where was I physically? It has to be logic. It couldn't just have disappeared into thin air, right? It had to be somewhere. And the fact that I recalled all the locations that I had it when I was having it, then I forgot the phone number. No, no, actually I did not forget the phone number. I remembered it. PC version of WeChat, yes, there is, but again, I would have to go to my PC, which is not brought along with me, right? On that trip on Sunday, I didn't bring my PC, so I wouldn't be able to access my PC to access my WeChat. At the same time, if you were to go into a new PC, let's say you just borrow somebody's PC, the hotel's PC, you couldn't activate the WeChat because you need to scan the QR code that appears on the screen for you to use your phone to scan the QR code for you to access the PC version, or rather the desktop version of the WeChat. So again, it's not possible. All right. Oh, your cry buckets. So that's why this stream is to maybe help you guys subconsciously remember that you could be losing your phone. So please take all the necessary precautions and steps to prevent such a calamitous incident. All right. So please. All right. So yeah. Again, calling the police would only be applicable if somebody actually stole your phone. For example, if you are putting the phone in the Starbucks and you stepped away for the toilet or something, and then somebody picked it up and ran away, then yes, there's a case for the police, but not in my case, right? There was no foul play, nothing was going on. So yeah, I couldn't do it. Yes, Kevin, we'll get to that in just a little bit as I explain myself, right? You guys got to know the full story first. Hey, Mark Her, welcome to the stream. Also say hi to BBK and okay, and MP. You lost a Samsung a few months ago. Wow. Where was it? In Singapore? Left it on top of a car at a petrol. It just drove off. Wow. Did you not backtrack? Hey, Brian. Yes, I was really like, okay, guys, I was telling myself, okay, let's just cool down, calm down. Your phone is not currently with you. All right. When was the last time you saw it? So I was thinking to myself, when was the last time I saw it? Well, as I recalled, the last time was at the park where I stopped the car, got out of the vehicle, did not move, by the way. I just stood there and then. And that was it. That was the only time the phone was out of the car in an environment that could potentially have been misplaced or displaced, right? But if it had not been displaced there, then it could have maybe slipped out of my pocket that's in the car, somewhere in the seat below, and all these things. So I'm just using the logic. And even, as I parked the car in the darkness of the night in the car park, it's an open air car park. It's not a basement car park. I looked around the area that I walked to, because after I parked the car, I basically came out to just check the left and right to see how well I've aligned the car in the parking slot. I did a good job, by the way. So I was looking in there to make sure that wherever I'd moved, I was going back to trace to see exactly where I could have potentially had the phone slipped out of the pocket somehow, right? Again, it was all very improbable, because any slippage would have caused me to be alert and to the sound and everything. I'm very sensitive to sounds. Basically, even at night, if there's a sound, I'll be woken up when I'm maybe taking a shower, and then there's some sound that doesn't seem logical to the way the shower water is coming down and hitting the floor. I got to find out what that sound is, and I did find out. It was basically the water that's dripping onto the metal and the metal door that is a sliding door that's preventing the water from being splashing out of the bathroom. So there was a bit of a platform, and the water was hitting onto the metal area, so it caused the sound. Anyway, I digress. Basically, what I'm just trying to say is that I'm very sensitive to sounds and anything that is in my environment. So I could not have dropped it. It's just not probable, right? But the fact is that as I sat down in the lobby, I immediately noticed that I only had my streaming phone, the big iPhone, the Max. Where is my normal phone? It came to me immediately, right? So yeah, I was definitely trying to logic it out. Before we get to the review, let me check the rest of what you guys are saying. You did lose your wallet. 我爱您中国. Thank goodness you found it. All right, thank goodness. Yes. Oh, yeah. Again, Eric, if I have to use my Mac, I got to come back to Shenzhen to use my Mac. And had I left that location, then the chance of finding it again is already getting more and more distant. But as long as I'm near the area where the incident took place, the chance of finding it is higher and higher. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So Jane SA, I haven't lost a purse, but I had one stolen out. Wow, that's the worst, right? If you get something that's stolen. Anyway, all right. So guys, finally, okay. After saying all this, I hope you guys understood my what I was feeling that night. I mean, I had a very good live stream with you guys. We had a wonderful stream. We had I had a very delicious kebabs, and even though I said I might go for a massage later on, I did not, right? So that was the thing. So I didn't go for a massage. I just went to drive around to see the area a bit more, and I chanced upon a park. Just got out of the car, wanted to see around, but there was nothing there. Got back in. Okay, let's just head back to the hotel. Let's call it a night. Tomorrow there's an early start. Okay. So by the time I finished everything, it was 1 a.m. that particular night. And finding the phone was a great relief. But again, I wasted so much time. It was so silly of me. And it's definitely an experience, right? The way, I mean, the feelings of anxiety, the feelings of helplessness, wondering the impending, the imminent disruption to my daily life that's going to be taking place the moment the sun comes up in the morning, right? So yeah, but in the end, I found it, and this is how I found it, guys. Again, this is a reenactment. All right, this is a reenactment. There we go, guys. So I came back to the hotel. I sat down at the same place, and I just decided to give myself one more call. Had I not done that, the phone would not vibrate. So there you go, guys. I found the phone exactly at the place where I sat down, and for some reason, it fell. This is the strange part. It fell out of my pocket, and let me show you, right? Let me show you guys. So this is where I was sitting, okay, as you can see very clearly. And when I discovered that I lost my phone, that the phone is gone, I got up and I didn't see the phone on the chair at all. All right, let's take a closer look at the chair itself. Look at how tight the cushion is to the edge. So my phone actually fell into that slot, which was very improbable. It's very improbable, but it happened. All right. It must have been a 1 in a million, right? Go and try to do this again. If I try to do it again, phone in pocket, sit down and let the phone slip out of the pocket for it to go into that slot, it's going to be like 1 in a million. So it's a very improbable situation, but it happened. So that was it. I finally gave myself one more call, and it was the greatest weight lifted off my shoulders when I heard the vibration, and I stuck my hand in, pull it out, and there was the phone, guys. And I finished it at 1 a.m. that morning on a Monday morning, because we had a stream on Sunday night. So by the time it was 1 a.m., it was a Monday morning, because I was even thinking, okay, the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get up early in the morning and drive back to the park where there's sunlight, and let's look at it again, right? Because it was really dark. Let me tell you guys, it was a dark segment. The slope was grass, and the street lights were facing the roadside, not the slope side. So the last ditch effort I wanted to do was to go out when day broke, when there was sunlight, and go check out the grass section once again, because that was the only probable place that the phone could have slipped out for me to find. So yeah, but in the end, thank goodness, as you can see again, let me replay it, guys. So is it silly, or a stroke of luck, or well, I maintain my record of not losing a phone in 44 years, right? So yeah, let me see. Let's see, guys. Hold on. Let me just okay. Just reveal it already. Okay, done. That's done. And yes, I definitely did like I said, I was making sure, I wanted to make sure that you guys saw the whole picture, because if I just explain it to you like that, you wouldn't really, there's no visuals, you don't really see it. You have to really imagine yourself, and you wouldn't have the real picture, right? If I mention a hotel lobby, you might have, another idea of what a lobby is. If I sat down on a chair, what kind of a chair it was. So I made sure I did that reenactment and filmed it so that you guys actually saw everything as clearly as possible, that you guys can appreciate the situation. So Diong 888 could have used a second phone to locate the other. No, like I said, the second phone to locate the other would be to sign in using the phone's Apple ID, the lost phone's Apple ID, and use the new phone to sign in with that lost phone's Apple ID. But that Apple ID requires a 24-hour waiting period for it to be verified. So I didn't do that. Yeah. In fact, even when I found the phone, it actually tells me, okay, this is the silly part. The phone actually tells me, do I want to sign in on an Apple ID on another phone? You know what I'm saying, guys? So, it's not all foolproof if you need to do this. Even when I try to sign in with the Apple ID on the other phone, it says that it will send a code, a number to my other device. If I can verify that device, I can sign in. But again, I don't have the device. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we couldn't do that. We couldn't do that, guys. I'm not sure if the stars align. On hindsight, I could have just called myself there and then when I realized the phone was missing, then I could have saved myself about 3 hours of agony. So again, that was the thing. Yeah, some smiles there. Really, it's a great relief. It's a great relief. Yes, Brian, it was definitely a relief. Like I said, I had all these visions of how the next few days is going to be so difficult in terms of getting a new SIM card, getting all the stuff from the banking apps reinstalled and going to verify this and that. How about my WhatsApp, right? The entire WhatsApp, if I were to download the WhatsApp, then I couldn't actually activate it because the SIM card that is associated with the WhatsApp number is no longer in my possession, right? So how am I going to do it? I'm going to lose all the WhatsApp, which means I'm going to lose all the friends on WhatsApp, and again all the all the contact lists, whether it's in the cloud or it's stored on the phone. I don't know how I'm going to retrieve it, but yeah, it was definitely a great relief the moment I heard the vibration. I think I heard and felt the vibration. So the moral of the story, story is I'm getting fat. Yeah, then it's time to slim down, right? The reenactment. Yeah, I used to always watch Crime Watch in Singapore, where there's a reenactment. You remember, guys, Singaporeans who will watch Crime Watch. Crime Watch is basically a police television show where it will tell us Singaporeans about the crimes that have taken place, basically unsolved crimes, and about how we can actually be mindful of certain crimes that could be ongoing in our lives, like maybe telephone crimes and all these scams, and either it's telephone scams or people acting out a scam, like trying to sell you some medicine, like heavenly curing medicine and stuff like that. So yeah, so that's Crime Watch. Yes, what's unbelievable? Yes, it's unbelievable, but it's believable because finally we found it. Yeah. Yes, exactly, Mark. Reenact like Crime Watch. That's correct. But it wasn't right because I didn't have the nighttime scene. It was wrong in that sense. All right. Hey, Patrick. Well, it was not exactly a false alarm. It was an alarm, right? It was an alarm, but in the end, I was lucky enough to find it. I mean, like I said, if I had not called myself again while sitting on the chair, then that's game over because I would have called myself maybe in the hotel room, and then God knows where. I mean, yeah, it's gonna be. Hey, G John 12, what's up? What's up is I am explaining to you guys about my harrowing experience for about 3 hours last Sunday, when I was thinking that I lost my phone. Again, I don't have all these desktop with me to go and log in and stuff like that. So fine, there's no for us. Okay. Yeah, I didn't have this thing. All right. Yeah. All right, guys. So today, another thing that happened is I went to renew my visa, and I'd like to share with you a little bit of what I did. So what I did was I went to you can see this on the screen, right? So this is the I think you can see it. Yeah. So this is as you can see that the visa and residence permit application form. So I was numbered at number 11. So 10, 11, 1011 or whatever, right? So anyways, 10, 11. And when I was there, it was about 7 and I was 11. So it was a bit of a wait, just a short wait. And all these things was applied online already. There is an app. There's an app that you can download on the WeChat. It is the Shenzhen Police, Gong'an, the police app. And in that app, you can select the things you want to do. In this case, I would have selected the application for entry permit for foreigners. So I did that. I filled out my details. I appointed the date, which was today. So I actually did all this yesterday, right? Yesterday, Wednesday, I used the phone and I made the appointment for this morning's, about 10 a.m. So I got there, and basically, when my turn was called in about 10 minutes, I went to submit my documents. And the things that you got to do is you got to get basically the photocopy of your passport page, the stamp on your passport that shows your last date of entry, which was, for me, is 2020 February 3rd, and the photocopy of your last, or rather your existing visa. And I did that. And then a few other things to provide this time around is a cover letter to tell the entry and exit bureau why you are staying in China. So you got to write a bit of a story. I just did like a 3 short paragraphs, basically explaining that I am having a apartment lease that is ongoing for 2 years. Number 2, that I'm doing work in China in terms of my business, having to liaise with the factory and basically be on hand to check my production. And finally, just to add it in there, that I'm a Hong Kong permanent ID holder. So hopefully that can, add some whatever. So anyway, so you got to do that. And also, they require you to submit either a printout or something to show your bank balance in China. Yeah. So the reason for that is to show that you have enough money and not somebody who is living, well, you get the idea, right? And finally, there's another document that you need to show, which is the proof of your residence. Not only is your lease agreement the proof, you have to bring that lease agreement to, there's a bureau, right? It's called the 街道办. I'm not sure why they call it like that. It basically means 街道 is actually the road or the street, right? 街道. And the 办 is basically like doing things, administration. So this is a common thing that I guess Chinese in China would immediately understand. 街道办. Whenever I say 街道办, you know what it means. But for foreigners, you don't exactly know what is a 街道办. In fact, at first, when I first heard the term, I thought it was in the middle of the road. 街道办, right? 一半 is half. So when I heard that, I was like, you're asking me to go to the middle of the road somewhere. So anyway, you need to go to this bureau and then submit your lease agreement, and then they will print out a little paper with a stamp to sort of verify that indeed they verify that you are staying in this particular place. And yeah, that's it. So these are documents that you use to submit. And once I did that, I was given, of course, I got to submit my passport as well. That's where they will actually slap on the visa. So this is what I'm actually using right now as a replacement of my passport while in China. So this is valid up to, you see over there is 9/3, which means on the 3rd of September, I will go back to the same bureau to get my passport with the visa. And again, it shows there 160 RMB. That means to say that I have to pay 160 RMB for this administrative cost of the visa. So yeah, so that's basically what it is, guys. this paper currently is my only form of maybe legal identification in China. So yeah, let me check some of your comments to see if there's any questions. Let's see. Yes, that's my queue number. Oh, is Ted in the? Oh, there we go. Oh no, it's not. No, it's not my. It's not 1011 RMB. It's 160. That's the queue number exactly. That's exactly. There's a queue number. Yes. Wei Zhang. They ask so much information for the visa. Actually, it's not a lot of information. I may be explaining it a lot, but it's essentially just okay. So previously there was no need to give the bank account balance as well as an explanation of why you're staying in China. Previously, it was just showing your residential proof. So again, if you're actually staying in a hotel, the same would be for the hotel, meaning that you will get the hotel to write you some kind of something to verify that you're staying in the hotel, and then you use this document and go to the 街道办 and get a chopped version of what the hotel is writing, right? It's just like, I think it's like notarization, right? You can't use what somebody wrote in the hotel as legal tender or whatever legal document, right? You need to get it notarized. So that is a form of getting it notarized. And so, and it's the same for anybody who wants to open an account, a bank account in China for a foreigner. You need to show a residential address, right? So the only way to get this address, even if you're staying in a hotel, is this method. You get the hotel to write you something, and they will know, right? They will know, and then you need to bring it to this bureau, the 街道办, and get it notarized. And once you have this document that has the chops, then you can bring it to the bank to show it as your residential proof, and you can get your account set up. So again, without the need for the explanation of why you're in China and the bank account balance, previously it was only this document, the residential notarized thing, and filling up the form, right? Filling up the form to apply for the visa is just normal, a standard boilerplate. Your name, your date of birth, country of birth, your passport number, your address that you're staying in China, okay, this part is a bit tricky. What's the word? It is somebody that will like vouch for you, right? What's the name of this particular person? Not a guardian, not a guarantor, but something else, right? So this person, so you can be the hotel manager, or it can be, like in this case, my property agent, right? I will use her name and address as the so-called this particular person. So you fill in that information, you fill in your point of entry, all the simple stuff, right? And that's it. Whether it's a new application for the visa or a renewal, and just sign. That's it. That's a normal boilerplate form, and you submit it, and you just go and get your visa done. So yeah, so not too much information, Nicole. Quite straightforward. Yes, it's not the renewal fee. We got that sorted out. Okay. No, not this pan. Is it this pan? Oh yeah, I think I gotta check it out. It could be this pan. Yeah, it could be this pan. Yes, office. Yes. Thanks. Not exactly. It's 160. It's not expensive. Street office. It's not exactly street office, isn't it? It's yeah. Is it really street office? It's 街道办, isn't it? So Local community office. Yeah, I think that sounds more like it. It cannot be a direct translation. Yes, that's right, Eric. I got poor Mandarin. All right, so Ted understands that. So the duration previously was 3 months, right? So last year I was getting 3-month extension, and then finally, as of June this year, I got a 1-month extension, so June to July. And when I applied for July, it gave me July to August. So now I'm applying for August, and let's see if they give me August to September, or we'll see, right? We'll see. I'm just anything more than August to September is a bonus. Let's put it this way, right? Both band fourth tone. What is that? Both band fourth tone. No, I'm not sure what this is. Is it easy for someone who's not in China currently? No. If you're not in China currently, you can't apply for a visa because, as of what we know, the borders are essentially closed to any people coming in for normal visa reasons. But again, it's not entirely closed off. There are many types of visas that you can apply for. You can be applying for a work visa. So if you really have a company in China who is going to employ you, then they would know how to direct you to fill in the necessary forms and provide the necessary documents that they'll provide you to apply for the work visa. And there's also things like visiting relatives. So if you have real like relatives in China, you can apply for this visa to come in to visit relatives. So at the present moment, these are the two visas that foreigners outside of China can actually come in. Either you're visiting relatives, you're applying for a work, or if you are studying in China, like a university degree or whatever. So apart from these three conditions, I don't think anybody currently is able to come in to China with any other kind of visa. Meaning to say, had I applied for this visa outside of China, I would be rejected because my work here is not essential services. It's not essential for me to make my action figures, right? The world will not lose greatly if I don't come into China to do my action figures. And if my action figure business will be kaput because I can't come into China to do the factory monitoring, then so be it. Find another job. Go do something else, right? So that's the thing it is. Oh, is that right? When was this, Nicole? Yeah, maybe sponsor, not, but again, not really sponsor. Maybe it's sponsor. I'm not sure. Just like a reference, Yeah, referral. That's the word I'm looking for. A referral. Yeah, not a sponsor. So a sponsor is pretty much a guarantor. So yeah, a reference, a referral. Yes. If you have family there, it is easier. Yes, it is easier if you have family. And again, I think there is some conditions of what this family is, which means that it is not your wife's cousin's husband, right? If you're visiting your wife's cousin's husband, it's not relative. I'm not sure. There's certain connection level that they will accept, rather than it's my relative. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. Yes, that property agent again. Yes, unless you guys know anybody else. 接到办 exactly correct. Okay, you guys can read that. Okay. So yes, thank goodness. Ha ha ha. Okay. Oh, okay. Pan and pan. Pan and pan. Oh, both fourth tone. Yeah, you're right. I think so. All right. Yes, no worries, Mark. Like I said, whatever I can. In fact, I was gonna maybe film a little bit of the app visa place, but there was just, I don't know, the mood was just a little bit too tense. There is lots of people. I mean, the security who are kind of. Yes, Dan, I'm doing well. Thanks a lot. So yeah, there's a bit of security. I mean, the guy was saying, please, sir, not me. There was another guy. Please wear your mask. Like yeah. So it's very. I'm sure that my like many generations before me originate from China, but as what I know in terms of my immediate family and grandparents were all born in Singapore, so I don't have that connection. Yes, reference. That's exactly correct. CC. Uh, Jacques. Jacques Co edition is your home. Yes, this is my home. Yes. Well, it's not whether they allow. I think you can do anything you want, but don't get caught. If you, I mean, again, not every day are the security people stationed where they were stationed today. I've been to the office many times, and today was particularly much more people of authority standing around. You know what I'm saying? So most likely in that situation, unless you have a real good reason to film, then even though, okay, you probably would film a few seconds until they say don't film, right? And then at least I'll have a few seconds of footage, right? So never say never. Long lost relative. All right, so any long lost relative in China who knows me, you can get in touch with me on WeChat. But yeah, I don't have any long lost relatives. All right, guys. So that was basically the whole idea of my live stream today. It was supposed to be last night, but I had a friend come in last minute from Chengdu, and I went to the airport to receive her. And that's when we really lost something. I had actually bought some, the Oral B electric toothbrush, the bristles. So the bristles, I basically had like 200 RMB of cash, right? Notes that I wanted to use. So I was in the airport and I was waiting, and I just chanced upon they call it the Mannings here, which is Guardian. No, it's Guardian or Mannings? Yeah, it's Mannings. It's Mannings, but it's Guardian in Singapore, right? Okay, so it was basically a pharmacy, and I wanted to use my 200 RMB cash. It's been sitting around for some time, and these are the RMB that I couldn't get deposited into my bank because of the machine rejecting it all the time. So I got two notes of 100 each, and I went to get myself the bristles and some cashew nuts, two Snicker bars, and that totaled up to be 200 RMB. So I got it in a little bag, and I should have, but there's no shoulda, woulda, coulda. I should have put it into my backpack instead because it's very small stuff. But I decided to use what they gave me. In fact, maybe it was their fault. They gave me a free transparent vinyl carrying bag. They say it's free. So if had they not given me that bag, I would have placed all the contents into my backpack, which I've already brought. So I actually used what they gave me to place the stuff inside. And then I sort of handed off the bag to my friend for a while. I'm not sure why. And she forgot to take it. I think when we got off the subway train, because when we got off the train and when we got up to the platform, I asked her, "Where's the bag?" And she said it's in her bag, right? She got a little haversack as well. But we all were talking the wrong things because she thought I was asking her where's her bag, and she's showing me that her bag is here. But she didn't know that I was referencing the bag that I handed to her just now. So I really lost something yesterday, 200 RMB worth of products. And that was the reason why I held off the stream from last night at 8:30 p.m. till today, because I was at the airport at about up to 9 o'clock waiting for the flight to arrive. So yeah, it was supposed to arrive at 7:48, and it arrived at 9. So yeah. And apparently, from what I heard, they were really very strict in terms of the checks, because I just got back from Shanghai in June, and I just walked straight out of the airport. But this time around, when you departed the plane, they said they were checking QR codes and stuff. So there was a check when you depart from the plane, when you deplane, and then there's another check when you actually got out to the luggage collection area as you exited totally from the airport itself. So yeah, there was a bit of a strict COVID measures that is carrying on. Yes, Mark. Yes, we can still use cash. In fact, no vendor is supposed to reject cash in China, right? It doesn't mean that anybody can say, "Oh no, you can't use cash. You must only use e-payments," which means that any foreigners coming into China going forward after the pandemic, if you don't have Alipay, if you don't have WeChat, it's not a problem, because people, retailers, vendors, whoever, right, they are still supposed to accept cash from you. There is no such thing as cash is now not used in China. You know what I'm saying? It is, yes, people are using mobile payments, yes, but it doesn't mean that cash is not used. So bear that in mind. All right, cash can still be used. Yes, it's dramatic, isn't it? Which one, the phone or the yesterday's events? I'm actually not sure what is the duration for visiting relatives in China. So I'm not sure whether it's 1 or 3 years. I'm not sure. Totally not in my knowledge. The plastic bag, yes, it's actually not a plastic bag per se. It's a vinyl. You know those vinyl bags? You actually buy it. It's like a transparent bag made of vinyl. So it's not like a plastic bag that you get from the grocery store. It's like a bag that you would actually buy to put in like maybe stationaries and all these things, like a small bag. So yeah, they were giving it out at the Guardian at the Mannings. I'm not sure why. So I blame the bag. No, okay. Again, like the Luckin coffee that we went to chance buy during my live stream, the reason why I conclude that I will not be going to any more Luckin coffee is because Luckin coffee insists that you make your purchase on the app. There's no two ways about it. You got to buy it on the app. So if you don't have the app, then you just don't buy Luckin coffee. Just like in many restaurants now, they will tell you, please scan the QR code and order with the app. But it does not mean that they will insist that you do it. Again, in KFC, that I just had my dinner, they would recommend that you order from the app. But there is a cash register. There is a manual service to take your order. And you can also pay with your mobile payment at the manual ordering counter. McDonald's, KFC, any restaurant other than Luckin Coffee in China right now that I know will absolutely accept your order by a manual way instead of insisting that you use the app. If you tell them that you do not have the app, they will take your order manually. And that's a true case. All right. Apart from Luckin Coffee. Luckin Coffee, for some reason, just does not accept orders other than the app. So that's something I got to. So yeah, they could be in infringement of the law that actually allows money, actual real currency, legal tender to be used. So yeah. No, in China, vendors do not prefer to accept cash. That's a true story. But it's not for them to say, because unless you're a sole proprietor, those people working at the pharmacy are just staff. So they do not prefer. They will abide to what the company wants. You know what I'm saying? So the company would have known or instructed them that you can either accept cash or the mobile payments. I mean, these are all standard operating instructions given to the point of sales personnel. So, yeah. I'm basically out of my drink. So that also means that we are heading to the final part of our stream today. Then there's no choice. That means go find another bubble tea, Mark. There are plenty of bubble tea outlets in China. If this one doesn't accept your order and wants to only do app, just move along to another place. I've been buying drinks from these places, and they definitely allow face-to-face taking of the orders and not just the app. Yeah, but I do hear you on certain people. I think it might be also dependent on some of the staff. I think to for their own convenience, they would just say, go and order from the app. But I'm sure if you insist that you want to order it manually, they have to open up the cash register. Look for the cash register. If there's no cash register, then obviously maybe indeed this particular vendor, like Luckin Coffee, will absolutely not accept any manual orders. But at the moment you see a cash register, then there is no reason why they will insist that you use the app if you don't want to, right? So please bear that in mind. Who's laughing at comments? Are the comments so funny? Yeah, see, the comments are funny. Which brand of bubble tea is good? Well, I don't know. It's all relative. It's all relative. In fact, when I buy bubble tea, I don't even see the brand. I just walk and I see it looks like a bubble tea shop, and I'll just go for the usual, which is basically what I'm going for most of the time. Is always like a citrus drink. Either it's the calamansi, if they have it, or the kumquat, or just lemon. Of course, they have lime as well. Either of these combination with just the lime, the lemon juice without sugar. That's my go-to drink. I don't order bubble tea per se. So if I just go to any of these places and they have it, I'll just order it. But of course, there are many brands like Coco. Come to mind, Coco, the Nai Xue that I was showing you guys during the live stream, right? I told you guys it's pretty good. So yeah, some of the brands that come to mind, but I'm not really a bubble tea fanatic, so I don't really know the brands involved. I'm sure there's no koi in China. All right. Gong Cha is available in Hong Kong mostly. I've seen very little Gong Cha in China, in mainland China. Tiger seems to be out of business in Shenzhen. I used to see the Tiger, and yeah, normal sirloin tea. What, where? I mean, they definitely sell the all these teas in the supermarket via tea bags, but I don't think that they might have this categories of tea at bubble tea localities. In fact, we don't even know what types of tea they use. They only categorize it as green tea or red tea, right? You either get your red tea or you get your green tea, but they don't specify. Not sure about BKK, man. Haven't been there since 2018. And when I was there, I was not even buying bubble tea. Again, guys, bubble tea is very fat. I actually put on a lot of weight when I was at one point in time. At one point in time, I think it was maybe like 2014, maybe. I don't usually drink bubble tea again, but at that point of time, I started drinking some bubble tea and I noticed how fast I put on the weight. Even though I was asking for 1/3 sugar, not even half sugar, right? They have the sugar levels. I asked for 1/3 because I knew that half was even too sweet for me. So I was asking for the 1/3, you know. So yeah, but bubble tea is definitely not something I would recommend. Not at all. All right, guys. So this has been my story, which I really hope that you found to be entertaining, and hopefully your subconscious would, prevent you from ever losing your phone. Right? Make sure you check your phone. Make sure you don't put it into your back pocket. Make sure it's always like in your front pocket, and make sure the front pocket doesn't have a side slit, right? That's sort of like the jeans type where it's really inserted to the front of your pocket and not to the side, right? The side pockets are the easiest to slip out. If you're wearing shorts, that's the worst because it's just the way it's tailored, the shorts, where you just sit down and it's going to just fall right off your side pockets. Yeah, right. So yeah, I wanted to do this stream to let you know what happened on that fateful night, and it's done. And I'm relieved that I've explained myself, and at the same time I've shared a bit of what I experienced today with my visa. I will know the results on the 3rd of September as to whether I get another 1 month stay or a bonus, right? And on the 4th of September, I will be in Dongguan, hopefully bringing to you guys a live stream at a pool party, right? Look out for that. It's going to be just a little bit of juggling for me to get my passport back and arrange my journey to Dongguan. And yeah, let's get some pool party broadcasts on a stream. Hopefully, we will get a good connection. All right. So yeah, guys, thanks a lot for being with me this evening. I appreciate it, and I'll see you guys really soon. All right. Take care, and Noel out.